13-year-old Dave Grohl and his punk rock cousin walked into a bar.
And I saw a punk rock band in like a corner bar, and they counted into the song, and the room just erupted. They only knew 4 chords. I'm like, I know those 4 chords.
And so would begin Dave's journey with rock and roll.
I had the opportunity to go start traveling Europe and the world when I was 17 or 18, playing music.
I was touring about 8 months out of the year, just slumming around, going to Europe and playing squats.
When he wasn't touring,
I wound up getting a job tiling floors in coffee shops. A friend of mine said that Nirvana was looking for a drummer.
Right.
So I got a plane ticket, I put all of my clothes in a duffel bag, and I put all of my drums into one box and flew up to Seattle.
Nirvana was just getting popular, and Dave's life was about to change drastically.
There was a really specific moment where I realized it was no longer that same audience that you played to a year ago. It's growing.
Nevermind reached #1 on the Billboard 200 chart in January of 1992 and is considered one of the best-selling albums of all time.
Most people who are really famous end up staying in their hotel rooms all the time. Total reclusives, and then they don't do anything. That sucks.
It's a scaring perspective, isn't it?
I don't want to turn into that kind of a person, but I have a feeling with the next record, we're going to lose a lot of our audience. Hey, wait, I At the height of their drug abuse. Damn, if I wasn't so needle sick, I'd be on tour with Guns N' Roses right now.
Kurt? Kurt, it's Francis' first haircut. All right, I'm gonna take the chair out, put her in the throat.
Special report on a very sad day. Kurt Cobain, the leader of one of rock's most gifted and promising bands, Nirvana, is dead. An apparently self-inflicted shotgun blast to the head.
Where are you right after Kurt died?
I went through a really dark period where I couldn't really even listen to the radio because it broke my heart just to hear music.
In that desperate time, he did the only thing that made sense to him and escaped.
I do remember at one point thinking, okay, I'm just gonna go to Ireland. So I rented a car. I was driving around Ireland, lost, I have no idea where I am. And it felt good. It felt really good to be away from all of that. I was driving down the road and I saw a hitchhiker and he had a Kurt Cobain t-shirt on. I mean, I was in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, I'm going home and I need to do something.
Yeah.
And so, Dave got back to work on his own solo album.
When we started the Foo Fighters, it was a bit more emotional than that. It was a continuation of life.
Fighters were becoming popular and quick, but no matter what he did, Dave couldn't seem to escape his past.
When people come to me and say, I love Nirvana, I wasn't in Nirvana. However, I do own Nirvana with my daughter. Dave makes $5 million a show. He doesn't need the money. Why the fuck then does he have a Nirvana Inc. credit card and I don't? So fuck Dave. That's all.
Courtney Love, Kurt Cobain's widow, had been in legal battles for Nirvana royalties for the past 2 decades.
You know, I have a big speech, but I'm not going to say it. Hi. We all start bands when we're kids, and this is my family I'm looking at right now, all of you. Mr. Grohl. Come on, David and Crispin. Dave and me, like, we used to really like each other. And then there was 20 years where we sued each other. So,
Right.
right. And then we stopped. And then the other night, we just started talking about this one actress's boobs, and we'd both seen them, and they're really,
Really?
At one point when she was 20, they were the sexiest boobs in Hollywood. Yeah, he'd seen them, I'd seen them, and we just picked up where we left off after 20 years of suing each other.
That's a hell of a thing to bring you together.
Isn't
It
that
really
cool?
is. Yeah.
We were at a point in our career where we thought things couldn't get any bigger. And then John Silva said, "You guys want to play Wembley Stadium?" And I said, "Fuck, okay, but wait, how big is that place? That's a lot of tickets, 85,000 people. You're gonna need 6 months to get rid of all those tickets, And we sold it out.
All right, it's our turn now. We have to make it great."
Foo Fighters were on top of the world. This didn't mean they took themselves too seriously, though.
Hate-baiting protesters from Westboro Baptist Church targeted a Foo Fighters concert in Kansas, but found themselves the target of an opposing protest by the Foo Fighters.
One of the band's most notable moments was in 2015.
During a show in Sweden, Dave fell off the stage.
Well, I fall, and then I go to stand up, and I don't feel any pain. I go to stand up, and it's just like a sack of sausage. There's just fucking nothing in there. I'm like, oh my God. And I sit down, and these guys are still...
I think I just broke my leg.
In rock and roll fashion, Dave was carried back onto the stage and finished the show.
Let me tell you, that was fucking great. Because I just had to sit there like a Roman emperor with a shot of Jägermeister next to me, like, what do you say, fuck yeah? Like,
I thought we were doomed. All the great stadium frontmen need to have that stage and be this big, giant thing, And I'm thinking, there's no way he can do it from a throne. And he did. Now that's called a big personality right there.
Have there been moments this band has been in trouble?
Oh, God, yeah. 2001.
That year, Taylor Hawkins nearly died after a heroin overdose. He spent 2 weeks in a coma, and Grohl did not leave his side.
Were you aware he was there every day?
Yeah, that was heavy time, but he was always there, and he's always been there.
Taylor Hawkins stayed clean of drugs for quite some time. He couldn't have done it without the support of his friends.
First, I'd like to thank Dave, because none of this shit would happen if it wasn't for Dave. So thank you for letting me be in your band.
We did it.
Sad news that came to us overnight. Taylor Hawkins, the drummer of the US rock band Foo Fighters, has died at the age of 50.
It's times like these you give and give. Too alarming now to talk about. Take those pictures down, shake it out. There goes my hero, watch him as he goes. There goes my hero, he's ordinary.
When you're in the midst of a crisis, when you're deep in crisis, it's hard to see above it or outside of it. But you have to remind yourself of the big picture all the time. I really honestly believe it. Even in the depths of the darkest fucking day, you have to remember the bigger picture. Because it's all pretty fun. Right, guys?
Yeah, no, it is. And
Yes, sir.